The grand ballroom of the Carter Foundation was glowing under thousands of crystal lights. The walls were decorated with golden designs, elegant flowers, and luxury decorations, as some of the richest people in the city gathered for the annual charity gala. But among all the powerful guests, one person always remained the center of attention, not because of her wealth, but because of her innocent smile. Her name was Lily Carter, the 6-year-old daughter of billionaire CEO Sophia Carter. Sophia was known as one of the most successful businesswomen in the country. She had built a billion-dollar empire from nothing. But despite all her success, there was one thing money could never give her: the sound of her daughter's voice. Lily had been deaf since birth. Doctors, specialists, and experts from around the world had tried to help, but nothing changed. Sophia spent years searching for answers, hoping that one day her daughter would hear the world around her. But Lily never allowed her silence to define her. She was a happy, creative child who loved drawing, painting, and communicating through sign language. Sophia always told her daughter, "You are perfect exactly the way you are." Yet deep inside, Sophia carried the pain of knowing Lily had never heard her mother's voice. During the charity gala, Lily sat quietly near the stage, drawing pictures in her notebook while guests celebrated around her. She noticed many people talking, laughing, and enjoying music she could only feel through vibrations. She smiled, but Sophia could see the sadness hidden behind her daughter's eyes. That night, a humble man entered the ballroom. Unlike the wealthy guests wearing expensive suits, he wore a simple dark jacket. His name was Daniel Hayes. To everyone else, he looked like an ordinary single father who had come to help with the charity event. But nobody knew the truth about him. Daniel was a former Navy SEAL who had completed dangerous missions around the world. After losing his wife, he left the military to raise his young son and dedicate his life to helping others. He no longer searched for fame or money. He only wanted to make a difference. As Daniel walked through the ballroom, Lily accidentally dropped her drawing book near him. Daniel picked it up and handed it back to her. Instead of speaking loudly like many people did when they met her, Daniel quietly used sign language. Lily froze. Her eyes widened with surprise. She had met many people who tried to communicate with her, but very few actually understood her world. Daniel smiled and signed, "Your drawing is beautiful." For the first time that evening, Lily smiled completely. Sophia watched from across the room, shocked that her daughter had connected with a stranger so quickly. Daniel looked through Lily's drawings and noticed one picture that caught his attention. It showed a little girl standing beside her mother. Above Sophia's face was an empty speech bubble. Daniel gently pointed at the drawing and signed, "You want to hear your mom?" Lily slowly nodded. Daniel reached into his old bag and pulled out a small device, carefully protected inside a case. Sophia immediately noticed and walked closer, confused about what he was holding. Daniel looked at Lily and said softly, "This won't change who you are. It will only help you experience something new." The entire ballroom became silent. Sophia held her breath as Daniel prepared the device. She had spent millions searching for a way to help her daughter, but she never expected that the answer would come from a quiet, single dad who walked into her charity event, and what happened next would change Lily's life forever. Daniel carefully opened the small case and revealed a compact hearing technology device. The guests standing nearby looked curious, while Sophia watched with a mixture of hope and fear. She had seen countless doctors, machines, and treatments before, and every time she had hoped for a miracle, only to face disappointment. She didn't want Lily to feel like she had failed again. Daniel noticed Sophia's worried expression and calmly said, "Mrs. Carter, this isn't about fixing her. Lily doesn't need to be fixed. She is already amazing. This is just another way for her to experience the world." Those words touched Sophia deeply. For years, people had spoken about Lily's disability before they spoke about Lily herself. But Daniel saw her as a child first. Sophia gently nodded. Daniel carefully adjusted the device and explained everything to Lily through sign language. Lily looked at her mother, then at Daniel, and slowly agreed. The ballroom became completely silent. Daniel activated the device. At first, Lily simply blinked. She looked confused and touched the device carefully. The world around her was still unfamiliar, but something was different. She could feel small vibrations and changes she had never experienced before. Then the orchestra began playing a soft melody. Lily's eyes suddenly widened. She looked toward the musicians. For the first time in her life, she could experience something connected to sound. A small tear rolled down her cheek. Sophia immediately covered her mouth as tears filled her own eyes. She had dreamed of this moment for 6 years. She stepped closer and held Lily's hand. Lily looked at her mother and slowly touched her face. Through sign language, she asked, "Is this your voice?" Sophia broke down in tears. She hugged her daughter tightly and whispered, "Yes, sweetheart. This is my voice." The entire ballroom watched the emotional moment. The same wealthy guests who had arrived, expecting a normal charity event, were now witnessing something far more valuable than money could buy. Daniel quietly stepped back, allowing the mother and daughter to share their moment. But Sophia noticed something unusual. Daniel wasn't looking for attention. He wasn't recording the moment. He wasn't asking for praise. He simply smiled because he was happy that Lily was happy. Later that evening, Sophia approached Daniel privately. "I don't understand," she said. "You helped my daughter in a way that the world's best experts couldn't." Who are you?" Daniel looked down for a moment before answering. "I'm just a father who knows what it feels like to watch someone you love face a challenge." Sophia looked at him carefully. There was something hidden behind his calm expression. Then an old military guest recognized Daniel from across the room. His eyes widened. "Wait, Daniel Hayes?" Everyone turned around. The man continued. "You were one of the most respected Navy SEAL officers in the country." The room went silent. Sophia looked at Daniel in disbelief. The quiet single dad who had just changed her daughter's life wasn't an ordinary man. He was a hero who had spent years saving others. And now, without asking for anything in return, he had saved Lily's heart too. After the charity gala, Sophia Carter's life changed completely. For years, she had been known as a powerful billionaire, CEO who could solve almost any problem with money and influence. But that night, she learned that some of the most important things in life could not be bought. A simple act of kindness from a single father had given her daughter something. She had been waiting for her entire life, a new connection with the world. The next morning, Sophia invited Daniel Hayes to her mansion to properly thank him. The luxurious home was filled with expensive artwork, beautiful furniture, and everything money could provide. But Daniel noticed something immediately. Despite all the luxury, the house felt quiet and lonely. Lily ran toward Daniel as soon as he entered. She was holding her drawing book and smiling brightly. She had drawn a new picture overnight. In the drawing, there was a little girl, her mother, and a man standing beside them. Above the man's head was a small heart. Daniel smiled and signed, "Is this me?" Lily nodded happily. Sophia watched the moment and felt something she hadn't felt in years: peace. Her daughter had always been surrounded by doctors and specialists, but Daniel was the first person who made Lily feel completely understood. Sophia offered Daniel a large reward, a luxury car, and even a position at her company, but Daniel politely refused. "I don't need money for helping a child," he said. "Lily reminded me why I chose this path after leaving the military." Sophia looked surprised. "After leaving the military?" Daniel nodded. He explained that being a Navy SEAL had taught him many things. But the hardest battle came after he returned home. He lost his wife and became a single father. For years, he focused only on raising his son and helping people who felt forgotten. Sophia realized that behind Daniel's calm smile was a man who had carried his own pain quietly. Over the next few weeks, Daniel became a close friend of the family. He taught Lily new ways to communicate, encouraged her artwork, and helped her believe that her dreams were possible. One afternoon, Lily showed Sophia a new drawing. It was a picture of herself standing confidently on a stage while her mother and Daniel watched proudly. Sophia smiled and asked, "Why are you standing on the stage?" Lily wrote on her notebook, "Because Daniel told me I can do anything." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. She had spent years protecting her daughter from the world, but Daniel had taught Lily how to face the world with confidence. However, Sophia soon discovered that Daniel was hiding another part of his past. A secret from his Navy SEAL days was about to come to light, one that would explain why helping Lily meant so much to him. And when Sophia learned the truth, she realized Daniel wasn't just the man who helped her daughter hear for the first time. He was the man who had been searching for a second chance at life. Months passed, and the Carter mansion no longer felt like a silent place. It was filled with laughter, drawings, and moments that Sophia once thought she would never experience. Lily continued using the special device Daniel had introduced. But the biggest change was not the technology. It was the confidence that had grown inside her. She no longer saw herself as a girl who was different. She saw herself as a girl who could achieve anything. Daniel continued visiting the family, but he never wanted to be treated like a hero. To him, helping Lily was simply something anyone with a kind heart should do. But Sophia knew the truth. She had met many successful people in her life, yet very few had shown the same level of compassion and humility as Daniel. One evening, Sophia organized another charity event, this time dedicated to children with disabilities. The grand ballroom was filled again with guests, but this night was different. The focus was not on wealth or status. It was about hope. When Lily walked onto the stage, the entire room became quiet. She held the microphone with confidence. Her voice was still different from others, but she wanted to share her message. "Before Daniel came into my life, I thought silence was all I would ever know," she said slowly. "But he taught me that everyone has a special way of being heard." The audience was moved. Sophia stood nearby with tears in her eyes. Daniel looked down, trying to hide his emotions. Then Sophia stepped forward and spoke about Daniel's journey. She revealed that behind the former Navy SEAL was a man who had spent years helping others while carrying his own struggles. After losing his wife, Daniel had dedicated his life to his son and to helping people who needed someone to believe in them. The crowd applauded. But the biggest surprise came when Daniel's young son, Ethan, walked onto the stage and hugged his father. For years, Daniel had been the person who gave strength to everyone else. But in that moment, he finally allowed himself to receive love and support. Sophia looked at Daniel and smiled. "You helped my daughter find her voice," she said. "But you also reminded me that even heroes need someone to stand beside them." Daniel looked at Lily, Sophia, and Ethan. For the first time in many years, he felt like he had found a family again. As the night ended beneath the glowing chandeliers, Lily held Daniel's hand and smiled. The little girl who once lived in silence had discovered a world full of connection, love, and possibility. And Daniel Hayes, the former Navy SEAL who thought his greatest missions were behind him, discovered that his most important mission was never on a battlefield. It was showing one little girl that she was never broken. She was always extraordinary. The end.